Thank you, Dr. Malhotra, and my colleagues on the dais and friends out there. Let me just quickly tell you what Kantar Public is actually before we get into that one. Because Kantar Public is a global market research organization catering to primarily the governments and their stakeholders across the country and across the globe, and providing them the information and insights for their policy making as such. So in our current role, we got a significant amount of actually the chance to work with the governments and their stakeholders across the globe. And some of the things that are actually very interesting is that the way that the government is looking at the policy making, the trends are significantly changing at this point in time. There is a lot of technological evolution which is influencing the way that the government is looking at the policy making overall. The kind of questions they ask us is very different from what actually they used to ask us some about 5 to 7 years ago. What is needed is really the information, and then as market researchers actually that we got a lot of chance actually to understand what their needs are. But the way that the information is looked at and the insights are used today are actually very different. The big change is that, I mean, if you look at a few years ago, then we are in a kind of an environment where government was looking at citizens as citizens, political parties are looking at electorate as electorate, and corporates are looking consumers as consumers. But it's very fast changing trend that actually government, especially in our developing economies like ours, are now realizing that actually it is the three parts highly interacting with each other in the same minds of the consumers. Primarily, it is the same person, actually, who is an electorate, who is a citizen, and who is a consumer. That is influencing, actually, the way that they are looking at it. Every decision a consumer makes in terms of the taxes they pay, the prices they pay, has an influence of their behavior as an electorate, has an influence of the person as a citizen as such. That's a huge difference in the way that actually policies are now actually being decided. And the information is looked at. Down the pyramid, actually, that if you look at, there is a significant amount of actually the technological penetration which is going down the pyramid, which is influencing a lot of it. And we have, but however, there is one important area where actually where possibly, as I would call them as service providers, be it corporates who provide services at a certain price, or which is government actually who is also paying services at a price in terms of the taxes that they. So there is somewhere actually that is a big connect which is missing, is the convergence of all the entities which are actually talking to the same person on the ground. You have there is an intent by the government actually to understand how corporates are actually operating in the consumer space. A smaller example is that actually, let's say, how a corporate is working towards behavior change of the citizens,